What is going on, YouTube people? New York Cards and Comics here today. Got a interesting one. Not really sure what direction to go with this because information is extremely limited, but someone passed this along to me and said, you might find this interesting. And then I started kind of poking around on it. So shout out to that person. I will not reveal them in case they do not want to be revealed. They can out themselves in the comments if they want to, but I don't know if they want to anger the Fanatics overlords. The topic today is Fanatics about to get into the repack game? Or is something else going on? So this is going to be, something is definitely happening or seems to be. Not 100% sure what, so we're going to go into a little speculation mode. So let's talk about what we know first, and then we'll get into what this could potentially be. So Insta-Rips is what this person sent me, and details were vague. I did some Googling, did some poking around, and when you Google Insta-Rips Fanatics Live, two different things come up, depending on if you're on desktop or if you're on mobile. If you're on desktop, this is what you see. Experience the future of breaking with instant rips. Then it says for 6 days from January 16th to the 21st, we're introducing a new way to experience breaking, a special event from Fanatics Live. And the problem is when you click on this link, 404 page not found. And I spend next to no time on Fanatics Live. I've logged in and out a couple of times today. I did not see anyone doing what would be classified as an instant rip. Maybe they've happened and I missed it. So if someone saw one, please feel free to comment down below. But I could not find one, and I don't really know how to search around on there real good because I'm not an 18-year-old. Live selling to me is like, I feel like my parent not understanding how to work the remote for the TV. That's what I feel like when I go on Whatnot or Fanatics Live. So that's what that says. And that doesn't look like anything too crazy cool. They got some new breaking format, whatever. When you look it up on mobile, it actually gives you different information. So I screenshotted this from my phone and threw it up on the computer screen here. The link line is basically the same, but the little blurb that it gives you is different. And it also gives us a photo. Instant Rips represents our vision for the future of breaking, where your hits transfer instantly to your Fanatics Collect account. Ready, ... So, at its face value, this sounds like you hit a card, and then basically what they lay out, everything's essentially going to start linking together. So instead of potentially, and this is where we're kind of starting to get into what this could be territory. So this is what we know is what I just showed you. Everything at this point and beyond is me speculating. And I have no backdoor information on this beyond what the person sent me. And I have no contacts at Fanatics or Topps to reach out to ask questions, and it's not like they would probably answer them anyway, to be honest. So, at its face value, it appears, if you're in an instant rip break, that you would hit a card, say you hit a Paul Skeens out of 50, black or frat, whatever. You hit some really nice Skeens auto, and you could just immediately have it sent to your Fanatics vault, basically. And then do with it what you want from there. Send it off to grade. You could go to, they have deals with pretty much all the major grading companies. Do whatever you want, but the breaker would essentially transfer your hits directly to your vault rather than send them to you. So that's version 1 of this. And I'm not 100% sure that that's what this is. That is me guessing. Version 2 of this, because like I said, when you look it up on mobile, there's a photo. In the photo, it looks like a Jordan insert, a Tom Brady Bowman rookie. I don't know if that's chrome or paper. I can't tell because the image is too small. and then what looks like maybe a Topps Cosmic, potentially Jackson Holiday, something. And they're all slabbed already. 2 PSA cards and a BGS, looks like maybe an 8-5 on the Brady. Those, to me, look like repack hits. That looks like something you would pull out of a repack. It's an already graded card. None of the cards represented on there are ultra modern product that a breaker would be opening. So, and this is where we go harder into speculation mode. Is Fanatics about to launch their own repack? My guess, this could work or be similar to what we see with Arena Club, where you're not ripping a physical repack. It's all digital. So the almost like an e-pack style of repack, basically, which is kind of what Arena Club is like. So they would sell these in a lot like Arena Club does. You would know what the hits were. You wouldn't know if they were pulled yet, potentially. You know, the devil will be in the details on how this all works. But basically the gist of it is, I think, and I'm pretty sure, that Fanatics is about to get into the repack game. And if that's the case, big if, capital I, capital F on that if, that really sends your head down a lot of different angles. Like I said, devil will be in the details on how this all works. Like I said, in my mind, it's the Arena Club model. But, one, the Tinfoil Hat Brigade, mount up, boys and girls, on this one. The hobby conspiracy theorists are going to have a field day with this one, and digital breaks and seeding things certain places or whatever, depending on how this all works. Like I said, we really don't know how this works yet, but at a minimum, hypothetically speaking, let's assume Fanatics launched a repack. One, it's genius business. It is genius business. Because one, repacks are super popular. They have no way to get a piece of that pie other than the percentage they make off the sale if you break it on Fanatics Live. But why should Fanatics Live repackers or repack sellers be going out on the secondary market to, you know, these repacks that you see, Venom Buster 97, you know, high heat hits. They got all these crazy names. Sound like, basically, literally sound like drugs half the time. But why would Fanatics want their sellers, their spokespeople, their faces of the franchise, going out and buying their product from somebody else? They want you to buy the product from them. This is like, we're going to go deep dive Wire reference. This is like when Stringer wanted the Barksdale crew, they had to get their product from Prop Joe. And Avon was super pissed about it. So why not become the supplier? And if Fanatics has a repack and they have to supply, I'm sure this will start small and grow, but hypothetically, let's continue to spin this ball forward. And they have to supply all their breakers, or at least maybe their high-end breakers or their special breakers, whatever, people higher up in the program, with product, with inventory to rip. Where are they going to get that inventory from? The secondary market. We have talked a ton on this channel about how repacks have single-handedly, some people get super mad about this in the comments, repacks are single-handedly keeping the secondary market afloat in a lot of categories. Prices would come down so fast on stuff if repacks didn't exist. They're keeping the prices inflated. Fanatics now needs inventory. What do they need to do? They need to start buying. They probably already have been buying for a while because they've obviously have at least a trial run of this thing getting ready to come out, assuming this is what it is. So now Fanatics is basically, it's almost like MVP buybacks. They are injecting money into the market to buy up singles to put in their repack to then sell back to the degenerate gamblers. What a system. They get to sell the product, the original sealed wax. It gets broken. The degen gamblers buy into breaks, get their slots, get their cards. They get them. They send them off to get graded. Then they flip them because they got to pay their bills off. They go into the secondary market ecosystem. They float around for a little bit. And then here comes, people need liquidity. Here comes Mr. Repacker scooping those cards back up for 80, 90% on the dollar. Then they're going to repackage it, put it in a nice little shiny thing, send it on, throw it up on Fanatics Live, and then people are buying it right back again. And then guess what? Guess what happens next? They get those hits. They get that Tom Brady, and maybe they hate the Patriots. They can't stand the Patriots. But I got this big hit. What are they going to do? They're going to sell it. Where is it eventually going to end up? Back in the hands of a repacker, and probably right back into one of their repacks. And in the meantime, they get to keep injecting money into the secondary market, keeping the secondary market propped up. And then on the flip side, the secondary market being propped up helps incentivize people buying into breaks and sealed wax because they want to get the hits, because the hits are worth money, because the repackers are keeping the secondary market propped up. So it's just this whole big circle of nonsense, potentially. And then, like I said, you could go down a whole other different rabbit hole of tinfoil hat stuff in a lot of different directions with this whole thing. That's not usually my shtick, but shout out to the tinfoil hat brigade. I'm sure you will all have a field day with this one. Now, like I said, the back half of this video is a lot of what ifs and what could be's. At this point in time, we don't know anything other than they are rolling out the future of breaking with Insta Rips. You're going to be able to instantly transfer them to your Fanatics Collect account. What we don't know is that from sealed wax, or is it from a repack, or most likely both? Maybe it's a little of column A, a little of column B. Hey, we're going to roll this out for if you hit the big Paul Skeens card out of Bowman's Best, you could immediately send it to your vault. And also, we're selling you a repack over here. Look at the cool Jordan insert that you just hit in a PSA slab. We're going to send that directly to your Fanatics vault if you want. We'll see what happens. We're probably going to find out something here in the next week or two. We'll see what news eventually comes out, and then we'll kick back around on this. But I did a bunch of searching. I have not seen anyone else talk about this to this point. And once again, shout out to the person that tipped me off to it. If they want to out themselves in the comments down below, they can feel free. But I don't want to throw them in the crosshairs if they do not want to be. Curious for your thoughts on this one. What do you think this is? And do you think Fanatics should get into the repack game? It seems like a great business. Really does. Seems like it just prints money. Why wouldn't they want a piece of that pie? They got their hands on everything else. That's all I got for you, boys and girls. We'll see what happens with this one. We'll see if my guesses are right. Catch you on the next one. Peace.